Hi, I'm Evan.
I'm Mark,
This is the Something to Prove podcast.
and on this week's episode, we talk about
I don't know, cookies, a genius regret strategy.
and why Mark shouldn't let himself off the hook or talk in third person. Can't hear me, can't hear me, can't hear me, can't hear me. Can you hear me?
Hey, here we are.
Hey, I wanted to take a picture because it's the first time I've ever dinged in, and there's no one standing there. I was going to take a picture, but you stepped in before I could grab my phone.
You were too late, my guy.
Too late. I've been here for 12 minutes waiting. I thought I'm going to get here early for once.
I love it.
I've also raised my computer and added a light.
Oh, nice, dude. I can't tell about the light, but the computer, the angle's looking better.
Yeah, there's a light here. It's just we have diffusion paper on it, so it's not quite so sourcey. But yeah,
The lighting needs to still get better, but
Of
otherwise, but the standing up is looking good. Nice.
Yeah. I did it for you.
You did it for yourself.
No, I did it for you.
Whatever. Doing it for me is doing it for yourself.
No, I'm really tired, man. I'm super tired. I did it 100% for you, active service. You asked for it, I did it.
But I'm telling you, doing it for me is doing it for yourself.
Sure. How you doing, man?
I'm great, dude.
I got up at 4 a.m. this morning.
On purpose?
Yep, because I had a big presentation this morning. So, I consult for people, and typically as we go through the process, it's like an 8-week process. I love driving the conversations. I love doing the homework and presenting stuff. But at a certain point, you get towards the end of the presentation or the end of the engagement, and you got to kind of deliver something. And so today I had the first time we were walking through like all of the wording and all of the crafting and how we're going to do the brand and everything, and I'm presenting it. And I was like not happy with where it was yesterday. And so I was really nervous. It's actually one of the first times where I was saying to my kids, I'm like, these people have paid all of this money, all of this work. We've had all of these great times and trust. I'm really scared that tomorrow I'm going to literally just disappoint them. Like They're going to be like, that's it. So I worked not too late. I worked until like 9 and then kind of like checked out at 9:30, but I got up at 4, was in the office before 5, hustling, working on this. Then we had a 7 a.m. meeting with our new head of strategy who came in to meet the team. And then like at 8, I'm like, I got to go. I got more work to do. And then I presented at 9 and I crushed it. It was
nice, dude.
It was
there you go. High five to Mark. Ho!
It was amazing. But what it means is because I all week, this is actually, I don't want to get too quickly into the topic I want to talk to you about today, but
let's just delay it then.
Let's just delay it. All week I had my eyes set. I have my eyes set on what's next. It was like, what's next?
Okay.
Right? Like, I have this presentation and it's got to be good and I got to work on it. And what if I don't find the words? And what if I'm not capable? And so the answer is like hustle through. Meeting ends at like 10:45 and I go, and I walk out and I'm like, I crushed it. It was amazing. But then I'm like, I'm not emotionally ready or energized to like jump into the next thing. I need like some decompression,
Wait, is this your decompression talking to me?
Well, no, so I did some emails, and then Steve and I went outside and we recorded some videos, and Steve's like, oh, I don't want to take too much of your time. I'm like, no, man, all the time in the world. And because literally I was so focused and put so much energy to making this happen. Jesus. That I'm not ready to jump into like the next thing. Like,
can you tell Steve he's never allowed to say that again?
What, that he's respecting my time?
No, he's not. He's not. No.
Oh, what did I say? I may not have said what he exactly said.
What did you say?
What did I say? I don't remember. What did I say? I know how I felt.
You don't remember. This is very interesting, Mark. It only happened 8 seconds ago.
I told you I woke up at 4 a.m. I'm a different man right now, okay? And then the other thing is I know that we're going out for dinner tonight. We're going to be up to like, I'm going to be falling asleep. It's going to be like 10:30. I'm going to be driving home.
Don't fall asleep on me, Mark.
No,
Do you want to postpone it?
No.
Okay.
No, I've had so much coffee. I even was planning a nap this afternoon to try and be energized for you. But what did I say Steve said?
Steve said, I don't want to take up too much of your time.
Yes, that's what he did say, yes.
Why is he not allowed to say that?
Because he's one of the most important people or activities. I don't know. What do you want me to say?
No, what's wrong with that sentence? Because you said that he's respecting your time.
Yeah.
Great. But what's wrong with that sentence?
That he's not owning the outcome. He's not owning the importance of his responsibilities and what he needs. He's just as valuable as anything else I do.
He's putting himself
Mm-hmm.
below.
Mm-hmm.
You can be respectful to somebody else without putting yourself below.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to take up too much of your time. If he was taking up your time, you'd let him know.
Right.
Why is that the default?
Right. I hear you, but I gave him lots of time because ultimately.
No, but life lesson. This
life
is
lesson.
mentorship. Yeah. Steve's not allowed to say that anymore. Nobody's allowed to say that. What you may want to say is, like, you might say, thank you for giving me so much time. You might show gratitude. Today's been my public facing day, so I do interviews and all this stuff. People will often say that at the end. And you say, hey, I don't want to take up too much of your time. Like, don't say that. If you were taking up my time, I wouldn't be here.
Mm-hmm.
What they're trying to say is
thank you so much for your time and attention. You've been very generous. I appreciate it.
They're grateful. They're happy. They're appreciative. But in the language people are using, they're putting themselves down.
Right.
I don't want to take up too much of your time.
So ideally what they would do is they would say, Evan, you're welcome.
Maybe.
I've given you access to my platform. I just want to end this conversation by saying you're welcome.
That'd be amazing. I'm looking forward to that. Although you'd be so happy. They're in the beginning stage of their show. They've done, I don't know how many episodes. They're not number one, like they're not on the first episode, but they're going through, ask me questions. And then we said, and then I heard what you said with Mark Drager.
Yes.
About blah, 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 blah. Like, oh my God, send me the link. I got to send this to Mark. He's going to flip out.
I love it. Earlier this week, you sent me an email from someone that said, hey, in this conversation you were having with Mark, talking about gratitude and said, just saying thank you. And I was like, wow, that's episode 1.
Mark's becoming a known quantity. He's becoming a known quantity.
I'm trying, man. I'm trying.
I like it. I like the siphoning. I like it.
I'm trying. But so here's what I'm wondering. Because I feel
is Steve there?
No, he's out on a one-on-one with Louis.
You got to tell him when he comes back.
I
He's
will.
not allowed to say that.
I will.
The other thing that bothers me at the end when people say take it easy.
Okay.
Yeah.
I say cheers, and then people think that that's really like stupid because only British people say cheers. But
I don't care if they think it's stupid. Don't tell me to take it easy. Yeah.
My wife gets the same way when I tell her to calm down. Where I say calm down, and she's like, "Don't tell me to calm down." I'm like,
"Don't like." Is that how you act? Listen, I think people say things without intention.
Right.
Is your intention to actually leave this conversation? The last thing you want to do is tell me take it easy.
Right. And words have power, and words matter. That's where you're going with this, right?
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Even if I'm actually resting, I want to do it with intention. I don't want easy.
Okay.
Yeah.
There's an interesting point. So here's where I was going with this topic.
Okay.
For my personality type, maybe a lot of listeners are the same way. A lot of our podcast fans are the same way.
Mm-hmm.
I will push ridiculously hard. And then I'm even better now at pushing even harder through the stuff that's really uncomfortable.
Okay.
But then when I hit it, I go, and I just don't want to move on to the next thing. I want to give myself the freedom of the time, knowing that tomorrow I can hit it hard again. So I was listening to Goggins, and Goggins says, work out 6 times a week, work really hard. But then on the Sunday, do nothing, no phone, no social, no, like nothing, like don't move, don't do it. Give yourself that time. So I was pushing it really hard last week. Saturday I worked. Saturday was insane. So Sunday it was raining. I woke up, I did some work for a few hours. It was my daughter's birthday. And I turned to my wife and I was like, can we do nothing today? Like nothing at all. And she said, yeah. So we literally did nothing all day, like to the point where we like ordered dinner in for our kids. We told them to go to bed early. We just sat in our room, watch some TV, did some stuff. It was like amazing. Monday happens, hit it hard. But like today's a great example, right? So I get up super early. I come in. I know I have this goal. I know I need to crush it. I crush it. And then for the rest of the day, to be honest with you, I just want to do fun things now. I just want to do things that make me happy. I just want to do fun things. I literally don't want to jump into the next thing. I know that I can hit it tomorrow. I just want to give myself the break. Last Friday was the same thing, right? It was a crazy week. And then halfway through Friday, I texted my wife and said, can we go to a movie tonight? And she's like, sure. And I'm like, awesome. We're going out to a movie tonight. So one, does this even matter? Is this like, as someone who always wants to be swimming, as someone who's able to jump from thing to thing to thing, does it matter that I operate this way? Is it even something I should be worried about? Because the more that I know your aggressive style and how you work and stuff, the more I'm just like, oh, maybe I could say this is how I work, or I can say, this is holding me back. This crazy push followed by the just like, let's just chill out.
It depends. So there's layers on this. The most important question is, are you proud of yourself? So some of the times the break should be a celebration. Like if you went off and crushed it with this client, maybe you want to celebrate that. And so you're celebrating. I don't like to lean into like, I'll handle that next thing. I don't want to dive into like, why do you not want to dive into the next thing? Is it because you're too busy celebrating this thing, or because I deserve the time off? Because
neither.
Yeah.
Neither. It's the like, that took everything out of me.
You need a rest.
And the thought of like, I know I have this list of things to do. Hey, I got to jump on a TDS landing page strategy.
Right.
But listen, I know it's next on my list, but I go, I could do that tomorrow morning at 6:30. And I don't really want to do it now. I'd rather go out with Steve, and I'd rather talk to you. And I'd like, even this afternoon, I'd much rather come down to TDS and just be a part of your thing, which I haven't ever done. But it's literally like, I've worked hard enough, so now I can do the rest of the day, even though things are stacking. And that's, It
feels like, no, you shouldn't be doing this, Mark. But the exceptions are, one, if you're going to celebrate, or two, if you actually need a break.
But I honestly think that we all give ourselves way too many breaks way too often. Like,
it could be.
I have both parts of this. I release these Instagram videos where I'm busy yelling and being all preachy and saying, you give yourself too many breaks. You know, you work hard for 2 months and then coast for 6 months. It's holding you back. But I do it too on the little windows.
But so maybe that's the next level for you, but there might be times you actually do need a break. Like you physically need a break. So here's an example. On Tuesday, my dog died, right? And my family dog died, not my two guys, but my parents' dog died. And like super sudden. They found out 2 days prior that he had cancer, and they were in and out of the hospital, the animal hospital, and all this stuff. Anyway, they had to put him down. It was either that or cut him open, surgery and chemo, and like another 3 months to live, but a pretty unhappy 3 months. So it was a super tough call, and my parents were back and forth. Meanwhile, it's like super emotional. So that was a really rough day. And
you lived with this dog, or you just cared for the dog because it's your parents' dog?
Both. Like there were moments where I was there, and I mean 11. So I'm what, 39 now, so 28 to 39. There was a period in there where I was at home.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't have as much of an attachment as my parents did, obviously, or to like Timo and Tristana, who have, but still like caused me grief. And grief is I made a post on Instagram, but grief is the negative emotion that I allow myself to feel and don't want to squish out of my life, right? Mm-hmm. Like if it's jealousy or hatred or greed or something's like, I don't want that in my life. I don't tolerate that. But grief, you have to feel and push through. So anyway, I didn't film on Tuesday. Tuesday, I was supposed to film my espresso videos. Like wake up every morning, here we go, shot of espresso. I was not feeling it. So my next step was I wrote out all the copy for it. Like I don't like have full on scripts, but what I was going to say. And then I couldn't get to recording. It would have been super low energy. Be like, hey guys, I'd have to just tell the story each time, because I wasn't feeling anything close to what I need for the video.
But why didn't you skip even writing everything out?
I could do it.
Okay.
I still worked all day long. I mean, I didn't feel like I was for the morning to the early afternoon to like 1 or 2, I was with my parents in the animal hospital doing zero, just being with them. Right. the afternoon when I came back, I still worked all the way till whenever. I just didn't film any videos because it didn't feel, I couldn't get it. It didn't feel right. So, but videos have to go up. So I sent, I told Christina what happened, and I sent her a picture of me, and then some pictures of Toby, the dog, and like a message, and say like I wasn't able to film. I forget what I wrote, but wasn't able to film because Toby for 11 years, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And then she wrote back like, I'm so sorry. And she found some old B-roll clips of me and Toby when I was at my parents' house, which she's going to put into the videos. But I don't feel bad about not filming the videos. Like because
you had a good reason.
Sure, but like that's the thing. Like, do you have a good reason? Are you proud of yourself for doing it? This is the inside game. If there's times if I'm just totally exhausted and wiped and I can't do something, then I'll let myself off the hook and say it's okay. Like I can't give any more than what I have given, so I need to rest. Most of the time, I agree with you. I think most people let themselves off the hook for the smallest things. So that's the judgment game for yourself.
But this is the challenge of like the achiever, right? Or maybe I'm just overthinking it and way too in my head. But
I'm an achiever.
I feel like I have great output, that I don't let myself off the hook, but I know that there are these times, and maybe it's only like 4 or 5, maybe 3 or 4 days a month, because to be honest, like my Fridays end, my Saturdays begin. Like my Saturdays are crazier, longer days. I'm just working on other things or chasing kids around or doing all these other things. And then Sundays are the same thing. And so there's not really much of a break, but my worry, or not my worry.
Well, if that happens 3 to 4 days a month and you're working 22 days a month, I don't know how many days are that? That's 15% of your days that something's happening. That's not good. Okay.
Yeah. Right. So like the next level is to like be like, good. Let's go.
Yeah.
And then jump into the next thing with
excitement. And then feel proud of yourself, right? It's like, man, I did that. That's amazing.
But instead, like, do you know the little part of you used to share this, maybe you still talk about it, the little part of you that used to secretly hope that people wouldn't show up for the conference call or the meeting?
Yeah.
You know, you had to do the meeting.
Yeah.
You know, the meeting was important. You know, when you finished the meeting, you'd love it and be on fire. Mm-hmm. That little secret part of you inside is just like, oh, I just hope these people don't show up.
Yeah.
And that little thing is like, why don't you want them to show up? Because you're an introvert, because you might free up an hour, because there's a sudden freedom and no pressure of having to do it.
Fear of disappointing people.
Right. I feel like what I'm trying to describe is that same feeling. It's that same thing. It's like the feeling of going like, I have all these worries. Things are burning and falling apart around me. Life is insane. I'm just not going to worry about it today. Tomorrow is a brand new day, and things will still be burning around me tomorrow. So I'm just not going to worry about it today. And I'm worried that I'm letting myself off when I should be jumping on it.
Yeah, you need to kill that.
That scares me. This scares me.
Great. You do scary things, Mark.
No. I know. No. I mean, me not attacking this scares me. Me letting this.
Yeah. You need to attack it. You need to attack it. You need to, for yourself. Honestly, like from a logical point of view, it's not going to impact your output that much. It's not a huge thing. But the mental game, I don't think I've told that story. Like, I don't think I felt that way at least a year.
Because you crushed it, right? But for many years you felt that way.
Yeah, I know. But like, that's what I'm thinking. That's why I think you should attack that.
Yeah.
You can, if you're celebrating something and you're feeling a celebration, great.
Yeah.
If you physically need time off or emotionally need time off, and you know you're going to look at the copy and it's not going to be something that you're happy with, then like if you need to nap, fall asleep right now. I'll take over the podcast. I'll crush it.
Well, and so like, here's the thing. Like my alarm went off at 4. I woke up at 3:30 because I was wake up half an hour before my alarm. It went off at 4, and I was like so exhausted. I was like, okay, I'm gonna reset my alarm for 15 minutes from now. And then I'm laying there like 3 minutes in, and I'm like, no, I can't do that.
No, you can't do that. No, you can't do that.
So I just got up. I got up and I was like, yeah, I'm crushing it. I grabbed my coffee. I get into work. I love it. it. Yeah, it's just when I put everything into this, I'll put everything into a meeting downtown that ends at 2 p.m. The rest of the day, I'm like, I don't want to think about another thing because I put everything into that. And now it's like, I just don't want to go into the next thing.
But you didn't put everything into it. That was just a warm up.
Yeah. Yeah. I'd be curious. I mean, I'd love, for people to leave comments or, even to DM us, but I don't know if this is just a me thing or if this is
no. It's an everybody thing, dude. Of course it's an everybody thing. But the thing that you think is, if that is your max, then you'll never grow. You're capable of more.
See, secretly, like if I'm being really honest with people, I've talked to Louis about this. I may have talked to you about it. I secretly worry that I'm too lazy. Like I secretly worry that from the outside world, they kind of see how hard I work, but I let people down and I don't put in the effort I need to put in because I'm afraid that I don't care enough about stuff. And so like I carry around all these fears. Like, I know that I'm not a good enough father. And then people go, no, only good fathers worry about not being a good father. I'm like, no, there are lots of times where I'm really, direct and mean to my kids. No, don't tell me that only good fathers worry about being good fathers. There's lots of times I'm not a good father. And so there's lots of times where I just I know how lazy I am. And I know about the things I care about and the things I just frankly don't care about. And I know how much that hurts everything. And this is just one of those things. This is just, let's add it to the mix of things that hold us back, that everyone else is more like, you tell them, they'll give you a free pass, but I don't want that free pass.
I know. That's why you're bringing it up here.
For sure.
Did I tell you about the guys?
Fix this for me.
This is it. It's already fixed. You're going to do it next time. Just letting it out, letting the secret out. Now the secret doesn't hold the weight. Did I tell you about the guys in Florida? Did I already talk about this story?
I don't know.
The two guys in Florida who we sat down at dinner and I gave them tons of YouTube advice. And I said, you need to fix your thumbnail for tomorrow and show it to me.
No, let's hear the story.
Great. Okay, so these two guys, they're hustlers. They're going to win.
Mm-hmm.
Alan and Kevin drove from New York or Boston? Boston. What are you eating?
Chicken. I wanted to see how long it took you to figure out. Yeah.
Oh, I'm looking down.
I'm like,
Nina made these hamburgers and it smelled up the whole condo and my mouth, that chicken looks nasty compared to the hamburgers that are like, Nina wants to come see the chicken. Like, look at that chicken compared to your hamburgers.
It's a roasted chicken, like Nina.
No, but like the smell of the hamburger, my mouth is watering. This is taking all my self-control is the best. Anyway, these guys, they drive from Boston, like 8-9 hours to do my interview, and then drive back home. Right.
From Boston or Florida?
Boston. They're from Boston.
Okay.
So I met them.
Florida.
Yes. So this thing, that's just context. So they're hustlers. They're hustlers.
This is the people who have resilience as a one word and legacy.
Yes. That's it. So I told the story or no?
No, we talked about last week. We talked about them with their one word and how, or maybe 2 weeks ago, about how you will never, it's the thing you strive for and the thing that you carry.
It's a good throwback. Okay. So we're in Florida. I'm the closing keynote. They're the opening keynote. I think. Pretty sure they're the opening. Did an interview for their podcast to open the show. Anyway, over dinner, I spend like an hour at least with them looking at their YouTube, giving them advice, telling them different things. And one of them was, you need to fix your thumbnail and like bring it tomorrow. I'll still be here. I'm doing a meetup in the hotel lobby at 8 a.m. or whatever. Come on by and show it to me. So the next day they show up and I've got all these people around me and all this stuff. And then I said, so how's the thumbnail? And Kevin, who's one word resiliency, said, we didn't do it. It's like, why not? Because, well, we had all this other stuff going on. We made all those other changes. And Alan said, don't worry. Like, we'll do it when we get home. He's not going to remember anyway. And so I said, don't let this guy's low standards prevent you from doing the thing you know you need to do. Right? In a jokey way, but also like very factual. Everybody will let you off the hook because they have lower standards than you for the thing that you care about. And we're looking for a reason to get off. We're looking for that. It's okay, Mark. It's okay. Just sleep today. Here's a candy.
I can't have candy. Keto.
We're looking for that. But here's the thing, like that reaction needs to be the reaction to everything. Here's a little candy, Mark. No, I'm on keto. What are you talking about? Same thing. Like that dedication now to everything. It's okay, Mark, take your break. What are you talking about? I'm Mark Drager. Right?
I do need to remember that then.
It's not an identity thing.
No, yeah, because the weekend was my daughter's birthday. They made cupcakes. They made all this stuff. I'm not a sweet tooth person, but I'm just like, that icing's just sitting in the bowl. It's just, yeah, I'm like, no, none.
But that transformation that you've done there, now you need to apply to everything. They have lower standards.
But I do it out of fear.
Okay, great. But you're still doing it. By them having lower standards and then seeing you do it, it gives them permission to keep their low standards. So then I said so I gave him a new challenge, which was he's afraid of flying, and that's why they drove from Boston to New York, but from Boston to Florida, they flew. So I said, okay, on your flight tomorrow, you have to film a video, because part of them was more personal stories. So on your flight, as you're taking off, you have to film a video, and I'm going to watch and I'm going to remember, and you better post it, Kevin.
Or else I will come after you, Kevin.
Right. And listen, and he did it, and he felt great. And it's like him being terrified of like the plane taking off.
Right.
Anyway, so that like, and these are guys with high, and his one word's resilience. And these are guys with high standards.
You know what? This happens. This actually might be a bigger problem than I thought. You know, like you're just talking about traveling. Like when we went to Dallas with Louis, like when you and I went to New York, Tony Robbins last November, there were 2 or 3 times where like we go to we're flying down, we go to the lounge, and you go, okay, so what? Like, let's talk. Let's go. What's the decision? What do we do? And for me, when I travel, like for work or for pleasure, like that's checkout time. Like I don't plan work. It's travel time. It's travel. Travel's like watching a movie or reading a book or this or that. And you're like, the whole time there, you wanted to talk and do business. I'm like, okay, yeah, let's do that. And then we're leaving Tony Robbins like Sunday night. It's like 7 p.m. And you're like, what are the decisions we're making? I'm like, dude, we're on a plane. Like plane time is not work time. And then so I had to get used to that. And then when I went down with Louis, it was the same thing. Like he wanted to use that time to work. And I'm like, and I had to like readjust, because I'm like, I don't want to work right now. Like I want to check out. Like I've trained myself that if I'm on a plane that isn't, so no one can email me. So that's like a little reason, a mini vacation, a little excuse not to get stuff done and to just have a bit of me time. But then I watched Louis working away and I felt all guilty. So then I got out my laptop and I worked as well. But I was secretly like a little resentful, like that I'm giving up my fun time for this. I think this might happen a lot, actually.
I think it happens to everybody a lot.
Yeah. So how do you know, okay, so you're celebrating or you need the break, but surely there's something different for you. I mean, it's not just like you come up with all kinds of crazy ideas and you do all kinds of stupid things that you dedicate tons of time for that to me don't seem that important in the grand scheme of things.
Yes, but am I proud of my effort for it? The Shania Twain Dance Challenge, I'm damn proud of myself for that. That was amazing.
Yeah, you're glad you gave 2 days of your time for that, or whatever.
I am. The Mark Drager. Everybody needs to do Mark in the car. Message him on Easter while I'm at the CN Tower with my family, and the entire day becomes everybody comment on this video.
Let's do some backstory here. So I used to do a series. I tried a YouTube series called Mark in the Car, whatever. I had cameras mounted in my car. I drive a lot, where I would just do like a 3 or 4 minute rant of me while I'm driving, and then we'd edit it down. And Evan was very supportive, and he's like, oh, this is good. Keep going. And then I don't know what happened. I just stopped. I ran out of things to talk about, whatever it was. All the lies that you tell yourself when you're trying to produce content, we just stopped. And then for like a year and a half, it was maybe even 2 years, every time I'd see you, you'd be like, where's Mark in the car? Where's Mark in the car? And then I'm over at your condo leaving for the long weekend with some of my staff. And you go like, where's Mark in the car? Promise me you're going to do something. And I go, okay, I'll do one. And then you were on me. This is like the guys with the thumbnails where you're like, okay, you're going to do a thumbnail? Great. Where's the thumbnail? You better do it. And so then on whatever it was, Good Friday or something, I released a video, and then you just went insane and got tons of people in your community to comment on it and then want me to do more and all this stuff. So that was probably not a good use of your entire Easter weekend, rallying the troops.
Yeah. I thought it was great. I'm proud of that. I'm proud of that because it's still proud of the effort. I'm proud of my effort. That was amazing.
You pushed me for like 4 years nonstop to do what I'm just starting to get better at now. That's pretty crazy, actually, when I think about it, because for like a long, even last year, right? You're like, are you going to be a thought leader? Are you going to be a thought leader? And then in New York, I was like, okay, I'll be a thought leader. And you're like, great, let's go.
Yeah. Awesome.
No, I'm just, thank you. I'm just going like, wow, like I'm curious what kept you at it for so many years.
Belief. What do you mean? That's why I do everything that I do. Belief. I want to see the world know Mark Drager and hear his message. He has an important message that people need to hear.
I appreciate that.
Yeah. So you have to be, this is an inside game. I think most of the people listening are thinking, this is crazy, Mark. Go take a break. Go relax. You deserve it. But you don't, Mark.
Exactly. And the fact that I know it, that I'm aware of it enough to worry about it means it has to be real, right?
Yeah. Yeah. But pay attention. If your body is shutting down, if you need a break or you want to celebrate and you actually are resenting your life, then fix it. But you're resenting yourself for not doing the work.
Mm-hmm.
And your growth all comes out of the saying that this is just a warm up. That I crushed my morning meeting, so now I'm going to slack all afternoon. What is that? That's not Mark Drager. Well,
it's not slacking. I'm still doing lots of stuff. I'm just not immediately attacking or jumping into the next important thing. I'm doing like some fun things because it's just more fun. You know, I accomplished the thing that I had to do, and now I get to do some fun things for me, kind of thing.
Nobody else's opinion matters, including mine. And so are you proud of yourself for it?
Well, that's what worries me. I may have low standards for what makes myself proud.
Yeah, exactly. You're not.
Right? Weeks ago, when I was doing that patio and doing the big push to get it done, you know, there were like 2 days where I worked like 10 or 11 hours straight without eating, out in the heat and the sun. And it was tedious, boring, dull work. And my back's hurting. And all I'm doing is going, well, I only got 4 more hours of this repetitive, tedious work. And then I would work away and I'd be like, huh. But I had my mindset on like, as soon as this is done, I'm not doing anything. We're having chicken wings. Like I'm like giving myself the rewards to celebrate already. I guess that falls into the celebration category for you. But
yeah, celebrating is great.
Yeah. Okay. Good. We solved it then, right?
Yeah, we did. Now you can.
Did we? I feel like we have it. Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
You'll remember it next time.
Yeah.
And then you got to take corrective action.
So the answer to like, hey, I know that I'm letting myself off the hook. I know that I'm being lazy. I know I'm not stepping up and do the things that I really should do. I know I don't care enough. All those things that we probably all carry around. The answer is the same for all of them.
Are you okay with the reason why? If yes, awesome. If not, get to work.
But what if we're okay with things that we shouldn't be okay with? I know it sounds silly, but
then you're saying that your standards need to grow, that you're actually not okay with it. You used to be okay with it.
Right.
You've grown and now you're not okay with it anymore because you want to grow.
We talked about this last week. I think the Tony Robbins, like this year's 8 will become next year's 5, right? Sure. The thing that we feel like we're doing really well in this year, our standards will raise and we'll look back a year later and be like, it's not actually that good. I could get better. So how do you move from thing to thing to thing tactically? How do you do that? I mean, I know you chunk your time. I know you chunk your days.
Okay.
But, you know, you knock out whatever. You're working on your website. You knock out the thing on your website. You decide immediately you're like, I'm off to the next. I'm going to jump into this thing now.
Yeah, I mean, I have very low need for. So the 2 caveats are celebration and like rest. So I have low need for celebration.
Yeah, you celebrate nothing. I know.
Yeah, I don't really celebrate. It's more like I'll celebrate you. Like we started this with a high five. Like you crushed the meeting, great. But celebrate myself, I just have a low need for it. So I did it once when we hit a million subscribers. Is that what it was?
You did a live thing.
Did the live
early in the morning. It was like 7 in the morning or something, and you weren't quite sure when you'd hit it. And
yeah. So we did it, and then people are like, "Why are you not celebrating? How come you don't care about celebrating? You should go celebrate." It's like, okay, I'm going to celebrate and I'm going to go to Tim Hortons and get a donut and come back. And I did as an experiment. And it just felt like the biggest waste of time of all time. It's like, okay, forget that. I'm not doing that again. That was a waste of time. So
Right.
I have a low need to celebrate myself. But mentally, I'm celebrating myself all day long. Maybe that's it. Like the internal dialogue is, I'm awesome. I'm the best, like all day long. So I don't need some other external thing, but celebrating other people, I love doing it. Like if you said, hey, Evan, I just landed some huge deal and I want to go celebrate tomorrow afternoon.
Wouldn't do that.
I know, but if you did, like I would try to cancel my whole tomorrow to be there and celebrate with you. Yeah, because it's important. Like I'll celebrate out anyway. And then the tiredness are just like my body can't handle it anymore. I'm not usually in such a sleep deficit or pain deficit that it makes me have to do that. Like I've designed my schedule for my life. So like Toby passing away is an unexpected shuffle to my calendar. And so that set me back and I wasn't able to do some things. But otherwise I've mostly set up my life. Like that's what happened. I'm going to get punched and it's going to happen. I'll get punched again from something unexpected. But I've built a no crisis business. Like if you need me.
I wonder how much of this is actual energy or not. Like Tuesday, we had a meeting with another company where we were working through strategy together. And I think it's like we got up early, whatever, but we left the office at 10 to drive down. Our meeting was like a 4-hour meeting. Like if you've ever sat in a 4-hour strategy session meeting with people where you're batting stuff around, when you walk out of there, I'm like, I'm done. I don't want to think about anything else. And then we hit traffic on the way up. So we stopped for lunch. And it was one of those things again, where it's like, I could pull out my laptop. I could sit down. I could start hammering it. I could start working on stuff. I just didn't want to.
Yeah. So now you have to. Can I share my screen?
I can see it. So just so you know, there's a lot of stuff happening for audio listeners, back-to-back things.
All day.
Monday, today.
No, forget Monday. This is today.
But I'm saying there's a big giant hole Tuesday.
Well, there always is. Tuesday is my YouTube day.
Yeah.
So I'm just working on, there's no meetings or anything happening on Tuesday. Even Wednesday I had a meeting. That's super rare. It's because I'm away next week in LA. So Wednesday's usually totally open. But Thursday, today, when we're recording this, it's all like there's a 5-minute break in between my stuff. But that's really to get set up for whatever my next thing is. So it's all day long. There's no lunch break. On the 5-minute break, I have to go to the bathroom. I haven't eaten anything yet today. Just had my coffee. But I love it. Like this is an amazing day. If somebody canceled on me.
You're going to Los Angeles tomorrow?
Yeah.
Huh. Cool. Oh yeah, for that thing. Okay, cool.
There's a couple of things I'm going for, but
yeah, for that artist. But you said that you moved it for the artist.
For the artist, going to be on Jordan Belfort's podcast. Have to talk to Jay Abraham, meeting some other connections, Vid Summit, all that stuff. Anyway, today is 5 minutes. It's always be jumping, my guy. Always be jumping. You like that? That's what it is. It's always be jumping.
So should I take the time to explain that story, or should we just say go back and listen to?
Go back and listen to episode 14.
No, it was bonus. It was bonus episode 1.
All right. Yeah, always be jumping.
On the audio, it might be that for your YouTube. For our audio listeners, because we release bonus episodes, bonus episode 1 for season 1. Yeah.
So after this,
that's one of the best conversations we've ever had, by the way. Like
really?
There was just
always be jumping.
Oh, dude,
I think this
one's so much.
Good.
This one's good too. Last week's I was really happy with because I pushed you, but yeah.
So after this, I still have 2 more interviews, and then I'm going to TDS and doing my workshop, and then we're going to meet, and it's going to go however long. Yeah, all day. There's been 0 breaks.
I have those days all the time.
Great, but I'm never like, oh man, I got to talk after Mark. Man, I gave everything to Mark. Now I got to go talk to Mike, and I got to talk to Michelle, and I got to do a workshop, and I got to see Mark's face again tonight. Are you kidding me?
See, that's what I would be like.
No, but that's not it. That's not the game. That's not who you want to be.
Right.
That's not who you actually want to be.
No, it's not, which is why this is bothering me.
Right. So, but now you're going to crush it. Awareness is most of the problem.
Okay.
I don't eat candy.
Yeah. No.
Yeah, exactly. But that's the same thing. That's it. That's the thing.
I've realized that my addiction to cream cheese is starting to slow down my weight loss. So I now need to get rid of cream cheese. Dude, man, a scoop of cream cheese with roasted almonds on top. Oh, it's like the greatest thing that you could possibly ever have.
Doesn't sound. I mean, cream cheese is decent, but with almonds, that feels a
Yeah,
little.
because the roasted almonds are a little bit salty and crunchy, and the cream
Let me
cheese
ask
tastes a
Nina.
bit like cheesecake. Don't
Nina,
ask.
cream cheese with almonds, like a scoop of cream cheese, and then you put like 5 roasted almonds on top.
Mm-hmm.
Like out of 10? What are you gonna give it?
Well, I didn't say out of 10.
What?
I will know until I try.
I know, but like just guess. That's the whole point.
It doesn't sound that bad.
It doesn't sound that bad, but it doesn't sound great. So like a 6.
What's the matter?
This is the podcast. This is what we do. We banter, and we give time for Mark to eat. Okay, she's being non-committal. It doesn't sound that great. I'm in the same camp. It doesn't sound nasty. Now she's laughing.
Well, it's amazing.
Okay.
And if you're on keto, I eat a lot. I eat too much cream cheese. I probably eat like a block of cream cheese every 2 or 3 days. Like that's a lot of cream cheese. So I got to cut back.
Cream cheese is being cut.
It's slowing down my, yes. Cream cheese is my new candy. I don't eat that.
Yeah. I don't eat cream cheese.
Yeah.
I'll smell it, but I won't eat it.
Oh man, I went grocery shopping.
That's the greatest thing. Here's what you really should do. This is it, Mark. Okay. The next time, this is the smelling test. The next time you feel like you want to take that break,
I go,
but you're not proud. Yeah. Just imagine how it's going to feel like. Just like, oh yeah.
Let's go. Next.
Yeah. Just feel it for like 8 seconds. And then open your eyes and get to work. That's the best.
I don't know if you remember, but a very long time ago. So my favorite type of cookies are peak frees. What are they called? There's like there's a box, you know, the little cream ones with the red thing in the middle.
Oh, I love those cookies.
And then the black digestive, like the black longer digestive cookies. And there's a box of peak frees or something that have like in a variety pack.
Okay.
And before I would diet, like my wife would buy, I tell her not to buy one because she bought a box. I would eat the whole box like in a day.
Nice,
like I would just like, you're just like sitting there eating, you're like dipping it in coffee and it's just like,
I don't know about that.
oh, it's so good. Anyway, so I'm walking through the grocery store on maybe it was Sunday and I look and I'm like, oh, there are those cookies. And I seriously thought about buying them just to smell them.
Yeah. You should. You totally should.
And then because they are so, I haven't had a cheat day. Like I haven't had a cheat day since May.
Yeah.
So like there's no donuts. There's no like, oh, one day I can have a cheat day. I am of the mind. Like when people talk about getting healthy or diet and they say, well, that's not sustainable. It doesn't work for you. My answer is as long as you want the results, you have to do the activity. As soon as you don't want the results anymore, then let the activity go. So
whatever. Are they accomplishing sustainable results in their weight loss?
No, they're using it as an excuse. They're saying you can't do keto
like, who cares about their opinion?
Because keto's not sustainable. Once you're done keto, you're going to gain your weight back. And my answer is, so don't finish keto. Like just stay on it forever. Always be swimming.
Always be swimming. Don't listen
always be jumping. So anyway, like in my mind, in my world right now, I don't even have a date when I'll be able to sit down and have one of those cookies. Like I haven't even planned a goal for when I might introduce cheat days again. So part of me is like, oh, I should buy these and just open them up. Just open up the plastic.
Okay, Mark, how long have you known? I did actually. Why didn't you do it? Now you have to do it. And film it of you opening up. My mouth is going to water. It already is. The red one with the, oh my God, smell it.
The circles with the cream with the little red dot with the sugar on top.
Yeah. That's the best. Yeah. You have to do it. You have to do it. That's your day in the Doritos.
There you go.
But
that are my Doritos.
There's a guy, Leron, who's a friend, fellow YouTuber I met in Dallas, and I told him about Damn the Doritos, and he's been trying to cut out sugar from his coffee.
Okay.
And so now what he does is when he has his coffee, he puts the sugar right next to it and just drinks it black. And his wife thinks it's crazy.
Nice.
Like, I love it. So it's the best. It's so good. Like there's the sugar right there. I own you, sugar. Let's go. Black. Right.
So my daughter, she was making these cupcakes and I was like, oh, that icing looks really good. She goes, here, smell. She goes, smell. And like the icing hit my nose.
Oh, and that's so good.
And I'm just like, yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I don't eat it. I don't eat this stuff.
Nice, right? And you feel great about it. That's the best. That's
there
how
you go.
Get. That's self-love right there. That's self-love embodied.
People think I'm crazy though.
Listen, most people don't love themselves, Mark.
Okay. People think you're crazy too, by the way.
Awesome.
Like even people who know you and love you think you're crazy.
Great. I love it. I am crazy. And just try it. Try it. Try. If you love sugar in your coffee, try drinking the coffee and just put the sugar right next to it and show yourself that you're capable.
Yes.
Yeah. All I want to do is make you proud of you. This is how to do it. Not teaching yourself that you're weak and you suck. Yeah. Yep.
I like it. I'm going to buy a box and keep it here at work.
You got to open it though. You got to open one up.
Oh, they're
and
going
you
to get
gotta,
stale though.
No, but your office will eat it.
Oh, true.
And then you have one that you put by your desk. But I want a video. You got to do a video of you like opening it, twisting it, and just smelling it. Oh my God. I could smell it right now. It's so good.
Yes. That reminds me of those maple cookies. Like as long
Oh, those are good too.
I grew up, my mom was really into cookies. And so when I'd grow up and come home from school, we were allowed to have like, you know, a few cookies, but she'd always have all of these varieties. And so I just like oatmeal, chocolate chip I love, and the maple cookies.
The maple one. The creams are good.
Yeah.
I feel you, man. You got to get those. You got to get those.
I got to get them.
They belong in your environment.
Okay.
Mark is stronger than the maple cookies.
That I know.
Or the peak freens.
The diet is really like the...
You've crushed it, dude. You've crushed the diet.
I'm trying, but it's one of the only things that I've really been able to connect to like a really much higher level than possibly anything else that I've done. Mm-hmm. Right. You know, like even today, like I was kind of pissed that I skipped the gym this morning. I had to cancel the gym to get up at 4 a.m. and not go. Mm-hmm. I just couldn't afford to, but I already went Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and I'm going tomorrow. And I might even pick up a Saturday to make up for it. But I'm kind of pissed that I wasn't able to go. And meanwhile, though, my body's like completely in pain. Like my back is killing me. We've been so much lower body stuff. My wife's like, you need a break. She's worried I'm going to hurt myself.
Okay. But I mean,
but I really want to go. But I really want to go.
Or do 8 push-ups in the office today.
Yeah. I brought my running stuff. So in case I had time this afternoon, because in my head, I was like,
why are we not doing this episode with you running?
Well, I am standing at my on my launch pad on my swivel balance board thing. But yes, you want me running?
I want you doing.
You want me doing squats?
Yep.
As we go.
Yep.
Oh, so much more body yesterday.
There you go. That's it.
Or some reverse lunges. Get it all in there.
You do what you can with what you have, and some days you have tons of energy, and some days you don't.
I talked about this though, like, you know, when we went to Tony Robbins, I didn't think that I could do stuff. And then one of my limiting self-beliefs, and that you helped me with the wording with, was like, you can do anything that you focus on. And I was like, you know what? And I was thinking back, you know, like to some of the I've done some crazy things. Like we've done some really weird things. I have like a Mini that I haven't finished yet, which you always bug me about.
Yeah.
But when I was in high school, we didn't have a place to store it. So my brother-in-law bought a school bus, and then we cut the back of a school bus off and built a ramp, and then cut all the seats out and pushed the Mini into the school bus to find storage. Okay. Like what a bizarre and strange and weird thing to do. So we have, so there's like all these things where I can draw on, like, you know, renovating my house or doing my backyard or all these things. Like, you know, I really could do that if I tried. So that's when the health started. And then we went to Tony Robbins the second time. I was like, oh, I've crushed it on the health side. So if I could do that, I could probably do like a lot of other things. Mm-hmm. But I just struggled to connect those dots.
It's not painful enough.
No, what I'm saying is the wall helped me believe that I could do the health. The health helped me realize that all of my other limiting self-beliefs are BS. Yeah. But I still bump up against those limiting self-beliefs.
Because it's not painful enough. What I said before.
The second time it makes so much more sense.
Just have to say it 2 times and it works.
Hold on, say it one more time. But no, what I'm trying to say is
right, because you connect the food to you not seeing your grandkids or walking them down the aisle and getting married, right? And that's massive pain. Yep. You not succeeding in business is having a hard time connected to something that's actually meaningful. Because me not hitting my potential is not a strong enough visual as I'm dead and my grandchild doesn't know me.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. It's not painful enough. But you know you're capable of building it. You're capable of actually sticking with it.
So how often, I know you talk about regret a lot. We're kind of going all over the place, but we're basically getting to regret land. How often do you use the negative of regret versus the positive of achievement?
I'm realizing in this episode how much I've changed in the past 2 years.
Because I keep bringing up old things that you used to
Yeah, because
bump into.
yeah, like the thing of one, I don't reflect back much on the past, so that helps. But like the whole, I wish people would cancel on me.
Mhm.
I don't feel that,
No.
but I did, and I can connect to it. I remember being that guy, but I don't remember the last time I wished somebody would cancel on me. Regret.
What I want to get to is, you know, when a snow day happens for kids
Mhm.
and they go, a freedom day. I don't have to do those things I have to do. I literally, it's bonus time. I can do whatever I want to do.
Yeah.
I want to be like, oh, snow day. It's keeping me from doing the things that I should be doing.
Right. Yeah, U.S. holidays are like that for me. The whole
But-
August is like that for me.
Well, yeah, on Canada Day, you were emailing me and being like, hey, are we jumping on a call? And I'm like, dude, it's Canada Day. I'm like not in the city. I have no internet. What's going on? You're like, oh, I didn't even realize it's a stat holiday. And I'm like, yeah, it's a legal stat holiday. Like literally it's against the law to have my staff work right now. And you're like, oh, okay.
Every long weekend Monday, unless I'm away or something, like we book something with Nina, that it's Alex, Jeremy, you're coming over, right? I mean, it's up to you. I don't care, but I'm here if you want.
Right.
Louis, I talked to Louis on Monday. I talked to him on a long weekend. He was at his home. Like, hey, Louis, we still on for today? Like, yeah. Okay, great.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just default. But it's not it's a holiday from what? I love my life. Right?
I love that. That's a soundbite right there. It's a holiday from what? I love my life.
There you go. That's the intro. Yeah, most people want vacations and live for the weekends because they hate their life.
Mhm.
They hate what they're doing all day long. Most of the time, I love what I'm doing. And if I'm not liking it consistently, then I'll try to change it. That's why you become an entrepreneur. But the regret thing is interesting. The first answer that's coming to my head is I bypass it.
Because you know, like right away, you shortcut that. Oh, I'm going to regret that. I know I'm going to regret it. I might as well act on it.
No, I don't think that way anymore.
No?
I bypassed it with my hacks of the boom boom test, right? Like
Mhm.
I'm scared, so I have to do it. Idea to action, I just start. Scary, difficult, or hard, I say that I have to do it. That's the first thing that comes to mind, is that I'm just bypassing anything that could cause regret because I'm just in immediate action zone.
Mhm.
I used to use fear of regret as the push to go off and do something. Like, I might regret this, so I have to go off and do it. But now I've just trained it so that if I think of it, I have to do it. I just have to do it regardless. So then I don't get into, it's interesting. There's something there. How to live a life with no regrets. Idea to action. Boom, boom test. Scary, difficult, hard. I think that's the answer.
As long as you're pushing and your standards are raising and you're not comfortable. There's lots of people who won't have a boom boom test because they never put themselves in a situation where they're even facing that.
That's not true. People have ideas all the time.
No, they train themselves not to listen to them.
Okay, great. But they have the idea and they're thinking, I should do that. And they're a little bit nervous, and then they don't do it.
Do you know how many people, I'm sure all of us entrepreneurs get this, but I'm in a service-based industry. Do you know how many people I've spoken to? So I started my company 13, 14 years ago, something like that, who go like, oh yeah, I've really thought about being an entrepreneur. I'm going to do something. And a decade goes by.
Yeah.
And not only did they not do it, they weren't even doing a good job of flirting with the idea.
Sure. Many people.
Right. They don't even put themselves in a situation where they have that thing, and then like
but ideas
they're just flirting with the idea.
No. Ideas continue to flow through you, and they'll keep hitting you in the face until you either die or do something about it. Even the person who's hated their whole life and they're 55 years old and they've been worked the corporate ladder, they're still getting ideas. It may not be as frequent as us, but they're still getting ideas. I've never met somebody who has no idea They've never had an idea. There's nothing in the past year that they haven't wanted to do.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody. Ideas will continue to flow through you. You just have to start to listen to them. And that's how you don't live with regret. There's definitely something here. Yeah.
I like that. I haven't done my job if in a conversation we haven't gotten you to the point where you're a little bit excited about something.
This is definitely something new. It's how to live a life with no regrets. Take immediate action on all your ideas.
It's your next book.
Then you won't regret it.
So
oh my
one.
God, let me get this book out now.
No. Think about this. Find your one word.
Yeah.
And then find your purpose.
Mm-hmm.
And then the third step, which is like the next level, is now living without regrets. You have your purpose. You have your one word.
Mm-hmm.
Level 3.
I'm writing it down.
A regret-free life.
No regrets.
You're welcome, Evan.
Always taking action. Listen, I'm always appreciative of time with Mark Drager. You need to value it and cherish it. And I will say thank you instead of saying sorry for taking so much of your time.
Or have a good one. Is that what you said?
Take it easy. No,
Take
have a
it
good
easy.
one is great.
Okay.
Take it easy is not. Did Steve come back yet?
I mean, he might. My door's closed and
Oh, okay.
and I'm
You gotta
recording,
tell
so
him.
he's going to respect that.
The
You want me to
throwback.
text him? Here, let me text him right now and see if he'll come in here. Steve. Hold on, let me call him actually.
Ooh. That's
Idea
what
to
happens when you
action.
have a phone number. You can actually call people. Idea to action. Idea to action kills regret. This is powerful.
Okay.
Otherwise, what would you regret? Like, action's not done. It's because you had an idea. Oh, he's putting...
I'm getting fancy.
This is great. Pick up, Steve.
Come on, Steve.
Pick up, Steve.
Come on, we're recording.
What's Steve backwards?
Evets.
Evets.
Wow.
Wow.
Hey, you've reached Steve Donahue. I'm not able to get to the phone right now. Just leave your name and number and I'll...
No, I'm not going to do that, Steve.
All right.
I'm going to call him again.
Oh, wow. Okay.
You always call people twice, right? Then they know it's
No.
important?
Really?
Yeah. Dude, while we were on this, I had a client call me 3 times in a row in about 30 seconds.
Okay.
And I'm like, ooh, something's going on.
Hello?
Steve?
Yeah.
How's it going, man?
Pretty good. How are you?
I'm good. I got Evan here on the line with me.
Yeah.
Evan, can you talk?
Yeah.
Can you hear Evan, Steve?
No, I don't hear it. Should I
Oh.
go in there?
Okay. You tell
Okay.
him.
Come to my office.
All right.
Okay, bye.
You tell him, Mark. It doesn't help if I tell him. You tell him.
No, I want him to, like, listen, I may not remember. Can you hear me?
Yeah. Listen, Mark, is he there?
Here comes Steve.
Okay.
Hey, Steve.
Okay, Mark, you
No.
you need to practice this. So you try, and if you crap the bed, I'll take over. But I think you got it.
Perfect. Come here, Steve.
There he is. Wait,
How's it
Steve, how
going?
come you didn't pick up the phone the first
How you
time?
doing, man?
He wants to know why you didn't pick up the phone the first time.
I didn't even see it. So
There you go. It was on silent. He was busy working.
yeah.
Yeah, he was making it happen.
I don't know. That doesn't feel legit. He totally saw it and then didn't answer.
No, I,
Ignore.
no, I saw it after.
Okay, so
Okay, go, Mark.
I was telling a story about you earlier, how we went out and recorded stuff.
Mhm.
And then I said that when it was going, like when we hit 1 o'clock,
Yeah.
that you said something like, what was the words I used? I don't even remember.
I don't want to take up.
Oh, you said something like, I don't want to take up too much of your time. Did you say that?
Maybe I did. Probably.
Okay. Apparently you're not supposed to say that
Okay.
because it puts you at a place where you're suggesting that somehow my time is more important than your time.
Okay.
Your time is really important.
All right.
And I didn't do a good job of saying, no, don't say that, Steve. Your time is just as valuable as mine and you're important. Is that right?
You don't. So what are you trying to express to Mark in that situation?
That I just don't want to put pressure on him or have him feel pressure, I guess.
So expressing it without putting yourself below somebody else.
I mean, I didn't necessarily mean to put myself below, but
No, I know you didn't, but it's in the language. The language, and this isn't just a Steve thing. This is a most people thing.
yeah.
Language matters. Like,
Right.
I don't want to take up too much of your time. If you were taking up Mark's time, he wouldn't have you there.
Okay.
So
Well,
if you want to,
But to be fair,
Yeah.
I may not have remembered what he said exactly,
mm,
and Steve certainly doesn't remember what he said, judging by his
I
face.
never remember. But
he's
But
just
let's
owning
say-
it even if he didn't say it.
Let's say that you did say that.
yeah.
Mark was pretty confident that you said that, which is why he called you in.
And I called you in because I thought this would be fun, but I like putting Steve on the spot.
That's the best. That's how
when
you
we
grow.
came back from Boston, this was one thing you were going to work on.
Yeah. Throws me off.
Let me tell
That's
you,
good.
the last editorial meeting we had
He crushed it.
yesterday, we booked 30 minutes and he took 17.
Is that good or bad?
It's great.
Nice, dude. Steve stepping up. I love it.
Yeah. All the
Thanks, man.
research, all the topics, everything got approved. Every single topic,
Nice.
bro, right?
Nice.
One got pushed, but that's
But it still got approved.
yeah. Correct.
That's Steve.
I love it, dude. Steve is stepping up big time, man.
Yes,
I'm
sir.
trying to.
That's
Okay.
it.
Thanks, Steve. Thank you
Cool.
for your time, Steve.
See ya.
Yeah, there you go. Thank you for your time. That's it.
That's it.
Dude, the no regrets because you're always taking action.
You like that, eh?
I mean, how could you have regrets? I mean, regrets of things done, sure, but it's usually the things that you don't do that you regret the most. So if you're always acting on your ideas, how can you ever have regrets for not taking action?
Let's talk about this next week.
It's amazing. It's genius. That's really good.
I'm glad that you made yourself proud.
Yeah. That's really, I think people should make themselves proud. And sometimes they need a push from a friend to help. Huh?
I
Huh?
like that. I
There you
like
go.
that.
If you want to see how Brendan Burchard changed my life, check out last week's episode. The link is right there next to us. Continue to believe, and we'll see you there.